Wow, that was pathetic. My lords and ladies, listen, I know it's Saturday, it's a little chilly outside, and we've all had a lot of fun so far, so we're probably starting to get a little tired, but I know you can do better than that, so let's try it again, and this time, act like you actually want to be here, okay? Greetings!
Greetings!
That's more like it. My lords, my ladies, welcome to the Circleton Experience. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're with Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament. I am Sir David of Macedonia, Lord Marshal to Her Majesty's armies, and by the grace of God Almighty, Master of Ceremonies at the castle in Dallas, Texas. I'm joined by none other than Her Beautiful and Royal Majesty, Queen Doña Maria Isabella I, and of course, to my right, Lord Don Ricardo, Her Majesty's Master Falconer. A cheer for the Queen and Falconer! Now, my lords and ladies, as I'm sure many of you have heard before today, the kingdom has gone through a bit of a change recently whenever His Majesty Don Carlos the Conqueror shuffled off this mortal coil his one and only child, Maria Isabella, took the throne, and now our kingdom is in her capable, and may I say, lovely hands. My lords, my ladies, the Queen is now in charge of the realm, and we are so excited to share with you the splendors of the 11th century through the eyes of a lovely lady. My lords, my ladies, we have a few things planned for you today. Firstly, we will be speaking about the ancient art of falconry. You will witness some fights between our knights of the realm, and of course, you will also have a chance to see the ancient art of dressage in action. So, my lords, my ladies, what do you say? Ready to get started?
Yeah!
Very well. Now, my friends, let's begin talking about the falcon you see before you now. As I said before, this is Lord Don Ricardo, Her Majesty's Master Falconer. He is in charge of the care and training of the falcons at the castle. This lovely creature you see before you now is Lady Maya. Can everyone say, hello, Maya?
Hello, Maya!
Oh, she's waving at you. She likes you. Now, my lords and ladies, Maya is a 14-year-old hybrid falcon. She's a hybrid of a Seika and Barbary mix. Now, the Seika and Barbary falcons usually do not mate in the wild. This is, however, an opportunity for man to use both types of breed of birds to get the best of both worlds. This lovely creature is, as I said, 14 years old. In the wild, they can live to be about 10. They are what is known as an apex predator. Nothing hunts them in the wild. The only thing they have to worry about is the encroachment of man on their environment, destroying their lands and their habitats and whatnot. So nothing is going to attack her. So in the wild, she will only live to be about 10. But under the care of Don Ricardo, this beautiful creature can plan to live up to 30 years. Oh, wow. That is, of course, we are able to take her to the veterinarian for regular checkups, give her vitamins and minerals with her daily feedings, and, of course, regulate her diet and give her proper exercise. The ancient art of falconry can trace its history back some 3,000 years to ancient Asia, where beautiful birds of prey were often captured, trained to hunt with their handlers, and then released back into the wild to ensure their progeny for future generations. As I said before, this bird is a hybrid between a Barbary and Seika falcon. Seikas usually come from Mongolia, and they migrate during the cold months to the deserts of Africa. Barbary falcons come from Egypt and North Africa as well, and of course they do not migrate since they are desert birds. This was a very popular type of bird to fly in the 11th century because of its speed and its relatively large size. Now, if you look at the bottom of the bird, where you see its little yellow toes, you may be able to see it from where you are. The black ends, of course, are the talons. These are approximately 1.5 inches long. They are razor sharp, and they are honed to kill. This particular bird can squeeze with those talons up to 80 pounds of pressure per square inch, easily devastating the finger or hand of an unwary handler, which is why Lord Don Ricardo wears the thick... Yeah, that was Amila. It's magic, yes. I'm dying up here. Which is why, of course, Don Ricardo wears the thick leather glove. This protects his hand whenever he is holding the bird. Now, you may wonder, why is she not flying away? You know, she's outside, it's a pretty day. Well, firstly, the falcon is attached to the glove by a tether. It goes from the glove to the leather straps which are connected to her ankles. These are known as the jesses. That way, if she gets spooked, she does not fly away. She's easily brought back to the glove. Also, she is not flying away because she is wearing what is known as a hunting hood. This is a thin piece of leather that is molded to her head and is put on whenever she is anxious or whenever the time has come to get her ready for a hunt. This hood, you see, is not a punishment. It does not hurt the bird. This is merely a way of calming her down. Whenever the hood is on her head, it blocks out her eyesight and her hearing. So she thinks it's nighttime and she goes to sleep. It's kind of like putting a bed sheet on a bird cage. Now, speaking of her eyes, my lords and ladies, the eyesight of a bird of prey, particularly this falcon, is the pinnacle of evolution. She can see 4 times better than any human, which is approximately a mile away on a clear day. And that is, she can see a mile away a bug or a very small bird. Whenever you see her head bob back and forth, that's her refocusing her eyes. At this particular moment, she can see everyone in the audience at the same time. Sometimes that makes her a little anxious during our tournaments, which is why we have to sometimes use that leather hood you saw before you. But as you can see, she's just taking in the view and enjoying the beautiful Texas weather. So, as I said before, this is a 14-year-old bird. These can live up to 30 years in captivity. And of course, Lord Don Ricardo works with these birds on a daily basis. Here's the reason why. This beautiful creature's brain is approximately the size of a large acorn, and everything in her brain tells her to hunt and kill. She has no capacity for affection whatsoever. Indeed, this bird only tolerates the existence of Don Ricardo because she sees him as a food source. Indeed, he's pretty much just a walking vending machine for the bird. Now, as I said before, she is a bird of prey, and that means she eats what? Meat, that's right, she eats meat. A little nugget there or some quail. Of course, it has to be raw because they will not eat cooked meat. It must be raw. In the wild, however, they will hunt by diving. Picture this, my lords and ladies. A falcon flying high over the air, taking to the sky. The beauty of creation laid out before her, and of course, the lovely Texas landscape beneath her wings. Way down below her, she sees a small bird flapping along, acting as if nothing is wrong. And then she folds her wings into her body, creating a football shape, which is much more aerodynamic. She uses the power of gravity combined with her weight to dive onto the other bird. And right before she hits the other bird's back, she balls her talons into a fist and delivers a knockout punch to that other bird's head. It disables the bird, and then she grabs it by the neck, and with those 80 pounds of pressure in her talons, breaks the bird's neck. She then takes the bird to a lofty tree and begins to feast, while the other bird's heart is still beating. Now, my lords and ladies, the reason this happens is not because she's a mean creature or she's evil. She's true to her nature. And of course, as I said, she's an apex predator. Falcons also have a tendency to want warm food, which means that they try to take the bird on the wing and then take it back to a tree immediately to feed. Indeed, it is not uncommon to hear of birds eating other birds while the prey's heart is still beating. However, at the tournament, we do not actually give them live birds. They are fed quail, and they're cleaned and thawed every day, and we also add a very generous amount of vitamins when necessary to keep them healthy and well. Now, as I said before, my lords and ladies, this bird's brain is approximately the size of a large acorn. She has no capacity for affection, so it's not like a parrot or a parakeet that might love on you or something like that. She is not a pet. The relationship between her and Ricardo is not master and slave. It's not owner and pet. It is a partnership. It requires lots of patience, lots of dedication, and of course, lots of trust. Indeed, these two work together in tandem in our tournaments to express the ancient art of falconry, which is still practiced to this very day, even in Texas. Now, if you drive home today, you may in fact see a few birds. Can anyone here tell me a type of falcon or hawk that lives in Texas? A peregrine falcon, that's right. Peregrine falcons live here in America and in Texas, of course, but they are also the fastest animals on the planet. Not recently, but a while back, a peregrine falcon was put in a study to test how fast they can fly, and this particular falcon was topped at speeds of over 240 miles an hour. 240 miles an hour in a free-fall dive when hunting. So the peregrine falcon is the fastest creature in the world. Now, the falcon is a subspecies of hawk, which is also another bird of prey. Birds of prey only means that they eat meat, not necessarily that they hunt. Falcons and hawks will hunt. However, other birds of prey, known as carrion birds, go for roadkill or other dead creatures. You may see blackbirds on the side of the road circling some roadkill or whatnot. Those are not buzzards. Many people call them that, but buzzards are a type of hawk that come from Europe. Those are what are known as black vultures. They are related to the vultures from Africa, of course, and they have no power in their talons, unlike this hawk you see before you now. I'm sorry, this falcon. All of their power is in their beak, so that they can pierce dead flesh, so that they can get meal. But they're also very common here in the area. However, there are also many other types of hawks here in Texas. We have the peregrine falcon, of course, lots of red-tailed hawks, sharp-shin hawks, Cooper's hawks, Harris's hawks, even tiny little kestrels that only eat small snakes and bugs. So there are many, many types of hawks here in Texas. Now, as of course I'm sure you all know, being part of the Scouts of America involves a lot of training in nature, learning how to survive in it, how to interact with it, and how to defend and protect it. At medieval times, we don't only use the birds in the show for educational purposes and for fun, but we also make sure that they are taken care of and that we raise awareness about these beautiful creatures here, not only in our country, but across the world. Indeed, this falcon is a hybrid of a Saker and Barbary. Saker falcons are actually on the endangered species list. So this is partly an effort to make sure that these beautiful birds are shown to people so that we can let everyone know about these magnificent creatures. My lords, my ladies, I would ask that you please raise a mighty cheer for Maya and Don Ricardo. Woo! Thank you very much, my lord, my lady. We look forward to seeing you in the turn. As I said before, it's very nice to see a bird on your hand again. Now, my lords, my ladies, we thank you for giving your attention to today's Falcon presentation. But you must tell me now, who wants to see a sword fight? Okay. Well, that was terrible, so we're going to pack up and go home. Thank you very much, Circle 10 Experience. I hope you... What? Oh, don't tell me you want to see a sword fight. Didn't sound like it. All right. Hold on. Listen, I'm going to ask you again, and this time, I want you to give it your all. Tell me, my lords, my ladies, who wants to see a sword fight? That's much better. Now, my lords, my ladies, I would like to introduce to you two of Her Majesty's bravest knights of the realm and today's combatants. My lords, my ladies, it has been said he is a terror on the field of battle, and when he is loose to the realm, he is a devil to behold. Raise a mighty cheer for Lord Delphont, the Red and Yellow Knight! When there is a cry in the dark or an ally is pressed in battle, you may always rely on the power of Valiente, this true son of the realm, Delmau, the Blue Knight! Now, my lords, my ladies, it is important to remember that during this battle, it will be your voices and your voices alone that will lend strength and courage to our combatants. So, I would like to try that now. Everyone from the middle all the way to my left, you will be cheering for the Red and Yellow Knight. Cheer for him now! Woo! Everyone from the center all the way to my right, you'll be cheering for the Blue Knight. Give them a cheer!
They're beating us.
Now, before we begin today's battle, my lords and ladies, earlier we were asked a few questions about the knights. Now, these gentlemen are using real weapons. They're not fake. There's nothing on the weapons to make them spark in the tournament or whatnot. They're made of titanium. Titanium is a lightweight metal that is an alloy, which means it's the mixture of two separate metals. It's light, it's strong, and of course, it's very useful in combat. It was not available in the Middle Ages, but we use it because of its strength and its durability. Now, the shields are also made of titanium, and their armor as well. They wear shoulder armor, which is known as pauldrons. These protect the joints of the shoulder in combat and also give better quality of movement during any type of fighting. Now, remember, my lords and ladies, it will be your voices that will lend strength and courage to your knights of the realm. So tell me, who's going to win? Red and yellow? Or blue? Well, let the coming contest tell us, and the song be then written. My lords, are you prepared to enter into combat? Very well. My lords, my ladies, prepare your best voices for the Knights of the Realm. My lords, lay on!
Yeah! Oh no!
Raise a cheer for the Blue Knights! Raise a cheer for the Red and Yellow Knights!
We're losing! Uh-oh.
My lords, my ladies, the Red and Yellow Knight has been disarmed. This combat goes to the Blue Knights! Well done, my lords. Fret not, however, Red and Yellow Knight. You will have an opportunity in just a few moments to redeem your honor in our final combat. My lords, my ladies, let's now get down to the real stars of the show at medieval times. We are known for jousting, for sword fighting, for the ancient art of falconry, and, of course, for a 4-course meal fit for a king, which is eaten with your fingers. But the real stars of the show are our beautiful Andalusian stallions, or Spanish horses. Indeed, we are very proud and privileged to say that we are the largest breeder of Andalusians in the United States, and many of our horses can actually trace their lineage back some 10 centuries to medieval Spain. Many of our horses at the castle now are descended from live horses from the 11th century. Now, my lords and ladies, we are about to be joined by one of Her Majesty's most beautiful stallions, and of course, her greatest rider in the realm, Don Javier Ortiz. So, my lords, my ladies, with no further ado and any more gilding of the lily, I now present to you Lord Don Javier, our Master of Horse! Raise a cheer for Don Javier Ortiz! What a beautiful stallion he is, my lord. Her Majesty prays, present him to our noble guests. The maneuver you witness before you now is known as the passage. This forward movement involves all 4 of the horse's hooves being off the ground at the same time, lending to the illusion that the horse floats effortlessly above the ground. Well done, my lord! We now see the piaffe. This trot in place shows the horse's control of movement and, of course, the steadfastness of the trainer. This trot in place is a high step and, of course, is used in the fields of battle as a mark time. My lords, my ladies, you witness now the side pass. The horse moves to the side with, at the same time, a forward motion of the legs. This maneuver is very difficult to master, and many men and women rarely master it at all. Lord Javier has indeed become a master of his trade. And he's so handsome. The side pass, my lords and ladies. Her Majesty's Master of Horse will now conclude the dressage presentation with the stateliest of maneuvers, the Spanish walk. As you see, this high-stepping walk is used on the field of battle to drive opponents on the fields of battle to the side, allowing the rider forward. And of course is also used in parades even to this day for returning heroes of the realm. Yes, here is a horse of great worth, and in great worth he is held. But you, my lord, are the finest rider in the realm, to be counted above all we have met. Lord Javier now performs the flying lead change. While he is cantering forward, he is asking the horse to change the foot in which he leads his gait. A difficult and well-performed maneuver. A splendid performance, my lord. My friends, a mighty cheer for Javier Ortiz and his beautiful Andalusian stallion. Well done, my lord. We look forward to seeing you in tonight's tournament. Congratulations on a job well done, Javier. And now, my lords, my ladies, we have witnessed the ancient art of falconry, the beautiful dressage of the 11th century. Now the time has come to decide who wins the day in our final battle between the Knights of the Realm. Will it be the red and yellow knight?
Yeah!
Will it be the blue knight? Now, as you may remember before, my lords and ladies, the blue knight was victorious in our earlier combat, but this will give the red and yellow knight an opportunity to redeem his honor and win the day. Winner takes all in this final combat. So, gentlemen, are you prepared to enter into the final battle? My lords, my ladies, raise your voices as the knights lay on! Remember to cheer your heroes on to victory, my friends! Raise a cheer for the red and yellow knight! A cheer for the blue knight! Raise a cheer for the squires! My lords, my ladies, the final combat belongs to the red and yellow knights! Well done, my lord. Let us also raise a cheer for the blue knight. And now a mighty cheer for our squires of the realm. If it were not for the squires, my lords and ladies, the knights would not have their swords and shields at the proper time, so they are very important. They may not be on the front at all times, but they are integral to our tournament. So thank you, squires. Thank you, knights. Thank you, Lord Javier Ortiz. Thank you to you and your beautiful horse. And of course, Lord Don Ricardo and Lady Maya, his beautiful bird of prey. He is a man of many talents. He is also in charge of our sound operation. Congratulations on a job well done, my lord. And of course, Your Majesty, thank you so much for being here at this experience. My lords, my ladies, raise a cheer for Her Majesty the Queen, her royal company, and the Knights of the Realm! As I said before, my lords and ladies, we are from Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament, and it has been an honor, a pleasure, a privilege to be here at the Circleton Experience once again. We are so proud of the relationship that we have with the Scouts of America. Our relationship with you, my lords and ladies, goes back quite a long way. It's a very storied past, and it is a very happy relationship. We have Scout shows all the time, so if you would like to come with your Scout group to see one of our Scout shows, which includes a 30-minute demonstration and educational portion about animal handling, you can call the castle at 1-888-WE-JOUST, and they can give you a special rate to see one of our Scout shows. My lords, my ladies, we thank you very much for your attention today. We hope you enjoy the rest of your experience here at Circleton, and we hope to see you soon at the tournament. Oh, and we hope you had a night to remember. I mean, it's daytime. Cheer for me!
Yeah!
Thank you, my lords and ladies. We are from Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament. We'll see you at the tournament!
Woo! The castle, and that's over there by downtown. Can we go?